At 6:15 local time on November 2nd, 2025, a fleet of 15 Ukrainian UJ26 drones surged silently across the Gulf of Finland, targeting Luga Port, Russia's largest Baltic naval and industrial hub. Heavily fortified and considered untouchable by Russian authorities, the port suddenly faced a threat no conventional system could fully anticipate. These drones had already flown 960 kilometers through the frigid night, engines straining, fuel levels nearing depletion. From the moment they appeared on radar, the stage was set for a clash between cutting-edge unmanned technology and Russia's most advanced air defenses. What followed was a display of aerial warfare so precise, audacious, and technologically clever, it would leave the defenders and anyone watching stunned. Drone approach and early engagements. The first sign of danger appeared when a Russian patrol boat emerged from the morning fog near the port. Its 14.5mm machine gun opened fire, tracers slicing through the low-hanging mist. The drones scattered instinctively, some climbing, others diving, mimicking the evasive maneuvers of birds, yet no human hands were at the controls. Operators in Kiev monitored the fleet through grainy satellite feeds, guiding their assets with a combination of telemetry and pre-programmed algorithms. 3 Eagle-S missiles were fired in desperation at shadows in the fog. The first missile lost lock entirely, spiraling into the Baltic. The second detonated harmlessly between 2 drones. The third struck a trailing drone, creating a brief fireball. 14 surviving drones regrouped instantly, continuing toward Luga Port, now just 40 kilometers from the target. This moment marked the transition from long-range navigation to precision strike territory, where every meter, second, and ounce of fuel counted. Russian air defense activation. Ahead, the S-400 radar battery switched from search to targeting mode. Its gravestone radar, capable of detecting high-speed threats, locked onto the drones. However, the drones were purpose-built for stealth. Fiberglass and carbon fiber bodies reflected only 10% of radar energy, appearing as mere specks, smaller than seagulls on screens 40 kilometers away. Desperate to engage, the Russian operator launched 248 N-6DM missiles, each worth $2 million, intended to neutralize multi-million-dollar aircraft. Yet physics worked against the defenders. The drones executed low-altitude dives, forcing missile fins into stalls and causing both interceptors to crash harmlessly into the sea. The S-400 team then deployed 9 M96E2 missiles with gas dynamic thrusters capable of extreme maneuvers. The drones countered with agile banking and evasive spirals, rendering conventional interception nearly impossible. Panzer systems in close defense. As the drones approached Luga, 4 Panzer systems positioned in overlapping fields of fire formed a defensive box. Designed for layered defense, the Panzers used shoot, look, shoot tactics, combining long-range missiles with close-in 30mm cannons. The first missile engaged a leading drone, which executed a wagon wheel maneuver, spiraling around a common center while maintaining forward motion. The changing aspect angle confused the missile's proportional navigation system. The cannons opened fire, creating a beaten zone of bullets through the sky. Some drones were hit, others emerged unscathed, weaving through the heavy fire. By this point, the drones had already expended some of their critical battery power, making precise maneuvers a matter of mathematical prediction and operator skill. Electronic warfare encounter. As the surviving drones neared their final approach, the Kasuka-4 electronic warfare system activated, broadcasting powerful jamming signals across 1.2 to 5.8 gigahertz. The Russians attempted to sever communication between the drones and their Ukrainian operators. This should have been a complete shutdown, except the drones were not ordinary UAVs. Using frequency hopping across 128 channels per second, they maintained control signals and autonomously navigated using terrain contour mapping and preloaded topographic data. Even when 3 drones collided with unforeseen obstacles, 6 remained operational, calculating trajectories, conserving battery, and closing in on the port with terrifying precision. Fog, environmental challenges, and navigation. Dense morning fog reduced visibility to 30 meters, neutralizing much of the Panzer thermal, imaging, and sensor capabilities. The drones flew 3 meters above the Baltic waves, relying on radar altimeters to maintain safe altitude. Saltwater spray and condensation blurred onboard cameras, forcing operators to fly by GPS coordinates, prediction, and dead reckoning. Even with GPS spoofing attempts by Russian forces, the drones adapted using inertial navigation. They were navigating a ghostly battlefield where every sensor was impaired, and every decision had to be made instantly. This environment turned human and automated defenses into unreliable factors, leaving only physics, momentum, and operator skill to guide the drones. Final approach and strike execution. The last surviving drones approached the cryogenic processing complex, the heart of Luga Port. Emergency venting of methane and ethane created a massive, invisible fuel air cloud. The final drone, carrying a 20-kilogram thermite-enhanced warhead, maneuvered carefully, converting altitude into speed, slicing through the fog, and gliding the last 50 meters to impact. The mechanical trigger activated on contact, igniting the thermite charge at 2,500 degrees Celsius, vaporizing structural steel and instantly igniting vented hydrocarbons. A cascading fuel-air explosion erupted, propagating at 3,000 meters per second, destroying fractionation columns and pressurized vessels. Within minutes, the $2 billion cryogenic processor was reduced to twisted metal, and the facility burned uncontrollably for 6 days. Smoke plumes marked Ukraine's deepest strike inside Russia, visible from satellites along the Estonian border. Aftermath and strategic impact. The aftermath of the Luga Port strike reverberated across Russian military and intelligence networks like a shockwave. What had been deemed an untouchable hub was laid vulnerable in a matter of minutes, revealing a startling imbalance between the cost of defense and the low investment in precision drone attacks. Each Ukrainian UJ26 drone, valued at roughly $35,000, forced Russian authorities to expend millions on interceptors, missiles, and ammunition that largely failed to neutralize the threat. This not only exposed the limitations of conventional air defense systems, but also highlighted Ukraine's growing technological edge in UAV deployment and strategy. Beyond the immediate destruction, the strike had a profound operational impact on Russia's Baltic logistics. Key supply chains were disrupted as the port's processing and storage facilities were incapacitated, delaying shipments of fuel, industrial materials, and critical goods. The cascading effects were immediate. Follow-up drone missions could operate with greater freedom, and gaps in regional air defenses became exploitable. Commanders faced a dilemma, having to redistribute resources hastily while balancing protection across multiple vulnerable nodes, underscoring the asymmetric nature of modern drone warfare. Strategically, the psychological effect on Russian forces and leadership was significant. Confidence in heavily fortified positions was shaken, forcing a re-evaluation of threat assumptions and response protocols. The Luga strike demonstrated how precision UAVs could leverage minimal investment to produce maximum disruption, redefining battlefield dynamics. Low-cost drones, capable of striking high-value targets, not only challenge traditional defense paradigms but also introduce a new calculus of risk and vulnerability, shifting the balance in favor of agile, technologically adept adversaries. By the early hours of the morning, Luga Port lay in ruins, a stark testament to Ukrainian precision and daring. The drones had silently crossed hundreds of kilometers of heavily monitored airspace, skillfully evading radar detection and missile intercepts. From the initial approach to the final thermite-enhanced explosions, every step of the operation demonstrated meticulous planning, technological expertise, and flawless execution, leaving even the most sophisticated defenses overwhelmed and ineffective. The aftermath was more than physical destruction. It was a display of strategic ingenuity. The operation proved that cutting-edge UAVs, combined with real-time intelligence and adaptive tactics, could penetrate seemingly impregnable industrial and military fortresses. The interplay of human decision-making, autonomous navigation, and advanced electronic countermeasures showcased a new paradigm in modern aerial warfare, where speed, stealth, and precision outweigh sheer firepower. If you found this story intense, hit like, share, and subscribe for more amazing real-world military operations.